Hi guys, this is Miss Campbell, and today we're going to be working on our Go Math lesson, Module 3, Lesson 2, comparing fractions with the same numerator. Now, if you remember yesterday, we were comparing fractions with the same denominator. Now, let's remember, a numerator is the top number of a fraction, and the denominator is the bottom number of the fraction. Now, the bottom number of the fraction tells us how many pieces the whole thing is divided up into. And the numerator tells us how many of those pieces there are. So let's go ahead and we're going to be comparing fractions with the same numerator. So let's go ahead and unlock the problem here on page 75 in your Volume 1 book. Unlocking the problem, it says Josh is at Enizo's Pizza Palace. He can sit at a table with 5 of his friends or at a different table with 7 of his friends. The same size pizza is shared equally among the people at each table. At which table should Josh sit to get more pizza? Okay, so the first thing we need to think about is, including Josh, how many friends will be sharing pizza at each table? So let's see, it's Josh and 5 of his friends at one table. So how many is at one table? There will be how many? 5 plus him is 6, right? So there'll be 6 friends at one table. And then the other table has 7, but including Josh, how many kids is it? Right, it's 8 friends. And so what are we going to compare? Well, we're looking for what? At which table would Josh sit to get more pizza? So we're comparing the size of a pizza. We're going to be comparing sizes of pieces of pizza at each table. Because remember, they're trying to figure out which one of those pieces which one of those tables would he sit at to get the biggest piece. Okay, so modeling the problem, it says there will be 6 friends sharing pizza A, 8 friends sharing pizza B. So Josh will either get 1/6, 1 out of those 6, or 1 out of the 8th of a pizza. Shade 1/6 of pizza A. Okay, so I'm going to shade this in. Doesn't have to be beautiful, just so you can get an idea of how big it is. Okay, and 1/8 of pizza B, so shade that one in. So that would be the size of pizza that he would get. Which piece is larger? Is the 1/6 larger or is 1/8 larger? Right, 1/6 is larger. It's a little bit larger. So we need to do the greater than sign. 1/6 is greater than 1/8. It's bigger than 1/8. This is smaller. This is a little bit wider. So Josh should sit at the table with how many friends? To get the biggest piece, which table should he sit at? Well, the one that has the biggest piece, right? And we just said that 1/6 is bigger than 1/8, so he wants to sit at the table with 6 friends. Actually, not 6 friends, 5 friends, because he makes the 6th person, right? So which pizza actually has more pieces? Which pizza? Pizza A or pizza B? Which one has more pizzas? Pieces of pizza. Right, pizza B does, because it has 8 pieces, where pizza A only has 6 pieces. The more pieces that a whole is divided into, the pieces are. So the more pieces, is that smaller or larger than the fewer pieces? Right, it is smaller, right? The more pieces it is cut into, the smaller the pieces. Which pizza has fewer pieces? Pizza A has fewer. The fewer pieces that a whole is divided into, the pieces are? The larger the pieces are. Okay? So just remember that the denominator tells you, the bottom number of the fraction tells you how many pieces there are. So the smaller the number of pieces, the bigger the number of, or the size of each piece. Okay, let's turn over to page 76. It says here, on Saturday, the campers paddled 2/8 of their planned route down the river. On Sunday, they paddled 2/3 of their route down the river. On which day did the campers paddle farther? Compare 2/8 and 2/3. Okay, so if we have 2/8, let's go ahead and shade them in. Okay, well, first of all, it says here, place a check mark next to the fraction strips that show the more parts in the whole. So which one of these is broken into more parts? You're right, the top one, the 1/8, is divided into 8 pieces. The bottom one is divided into 3 pieces, right? So now we're going to shade 2 of the 8ths, 1, 2, and 2 of the thirds. So that's 1. Boy, I can already tell you which one's going to be more. Can't you tell that one? 1, 2. Okay, so we shaded 2 of the 8ths and 2 of the thirds. So compare the shaded parts. 2/8 is that greater than, less than, or equal to 2/3. Well, here's 2/8. It ends right here. Here's 2/3 over here. So 2/8 is less than 2/3, isn't it? So you would do the alligator facing toward the 2/3. So this was on Saturday. I forgot to label. This was on Saturday. On Saturday they paddled 2/8 of their planned trip. And then on Sunday, they paddled 2/3 of their trip. So which day did they paddle farther on? Saturday or Sunday? Well, they did 2/3 of their trip on Sunday. That's farther, isn't it? So it would be Sunday. All right, so let's keep on practicing. Look at share and show. It says shade the models to show 1/6 and 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to do 1/6 here. And I'm going to do 1/4 here. Ooh, I can already tell the difference just trying to color it in. Can you tell? Okay, so which is larger, 1/6 or 1/4? So which one has the bigger piece? This one is a little wedge. This is a quarter of the wedge. So 1/4 is larger. So 1/6 is less than 1/4. Or 1/4 is larger, isn't it? Okay, so remember, if you have the same numerator, you look at the denominator. When you're deciding which is greater than or less than, remember, the smaller the number on the bottom or the smaller the denominator, the bigger the piece. So what I want you to do is to pause this video in just a second. I want you to do 2, 3, 4, and 5, and we'll check it in just a minute. So please pause the video. Write in the blank, less than, greater than, or equal to. Okay. So let's look at the first one, 1/8 compared to 1/3. Okay, it's a 1 up on the top, so now all we have to do is look at the bottom. If this is broken up into 8 pieces, this is broken up into 3 pieces, which one of them has more to the piece, or more size to the piece? Right, 1/3, because that whole is only broken up into 3 pieces instead of 8. Okay, these have the same numerator. Let's look at the denominator. Is 3/4 less than, greater than, or equal to 3/8? Okay, I know 4 and 8. I know 4 is less than 8. And if I did 1, 2, 3/4 versus 3/8, which would have a bigger part of the pie? Remember, 8s are smaller than 4s, so the 4s are larger. Okay, number 4, 2/6 compared to 2/3. Which one would be a larger part of the whole? You're right. The thirds is a bigger piece than the 6 are, so that's going to be bigger because the numerator is the same. Let's look at 5. We have the same number in the numerator. We have the same number in the denominator. So if it's the same and the same, what is it? Equal to. You're so right. Okay, let's look at the word problem on number 6. It says Zach has a piece of pie that is 1/4 of a pie. Max has a piece of pie that's 1/2 of a pie. Max's piece is smaller than Zach's piece. How could this happen? Draw a picture to show your answer. Okay, so I would draw 2 circles. Try to make them about the same size. I know it's hard. Has a piece of pie that is 1/4 of a pie. So if you divide that pie up into 1/4, okay, this is 1/4. Max has a piece of pie that's, so this is Zach. This is Zach. And this is Max. Max has a piece of pie that's 1/2 of the pie. 1/2. So I'm going to shade that in. Max's piece is smaller than Zach's pie. How does that work? Okay, if it's the same size, 1/2 should be bigger than 1/4, right? But who's to say that Zach didn't have a large pizza and Max had a small pizza? So let's look. Could we do that? Could we make it where it's less? What if we had an itty bitty pie, like a little personal pie or a pizza or whatever, and we did half of it? Would that then be smaller than that? Yes. So it's not because both pies were equal, because you can compare those and see that 1/2 is bigger than 1/4. But if your 2 pizzas are not the same size, that's when you can have it as 1/2 is less than 1/4. So the possibility of this would be that Max's piece is smaller. So what Max's piece is smaller because the 2 whole pieces or pies are different sizes. And then I would say that Max's pie is smaller. And I call those pizzas half the time. I'm sorry about calling it pizza. Those are pies. It doesn't really matter. It's just they're talking about the whole. Okay? So you see how Max's pie, he could eat half of it and it be less than Zach's pie, because Zach's pie is twice as big as what Max's pie is. Okay? Okay, let's keep going. On to page 77. Page 77. Okay, it says Quentin and Hunter are biking on trails in Katy Trail State Park. They biked 5/6 of a mile in the morning and 5/8 of a mile in the afternoon. Did they bike a greater distance in the morning or the afternoon? Okay, so what should be the first thing I do? Probably the first thing I do is I write 2 bar strips. That's what I would do. Draw 2 bar strips that are the same size. They have the same beginning, the same ending size. Okay. It says they're biking on trails. They bike 5/6 of a mile in the morning. This is the AM. And 5/8 of a mile in the afternoon, in the PM. Okay, so I'm going to divide this up into 6 pieces. Try my best to make them as equal as I can. And then this one's going to be into 8 pieces. It's pretty close. It's not exactly. Okay, now if you did 5 of the 6, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 6 here. You did 5 of the 8s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of the 8s there. Which one did they travel farther on? Well, which one is greater? It's the 5/6, right? Because the 6 means that there's fewer pieces and the pieces are larger. So, I already kind of skipped ahead. So what do we know? We know that, what do we need to know? We need to know which distance is greater, and that's either 5/6 of a mile or 5/8 of a mile. Okay, the numerator is 5 in both fractions, so we compare 1/6 and 1/8. So we know, though, the fewer number of pieces in a whole, the larger the piece, right? The larger each piece. Okay. All right. So planner strategy would be to, you can look at the denominators. Okay, we could have looked at just the denominators. And compared the sizes of the pieces. All right, so 1/6 sizes are bigger than 1/8 size pieces. Okay, because 1/6 they're a bigger piece. 5/8 are smaller. So we can complete the sentences here. In the morning, the boys biked how much? 5/6 of a mile. In the afternoon, the kids biked 5/8 of a mile. The boys biked a greater distance in the what? In the morning or in the afternoon? Right, in the morning. In the morning. So 5/6 and 5/8, how would you compare that? Greater than, less than, or equal to? 5/6 is greater than, right? Because it's more than 5/8. Okay, here's your last question. Number 8. It says, James ate 2/4 of his pancake. David ate 2/3 of his pancake. Both pancakes are the same size. Who ate more of his pancake? Okay, so they drew it out here. Over here, 1/4 and 1/3. Okay. It says, James says that he knows he ate more because 4 is greater than 3. Does his answer make sense? Shade the models, then use math language to explain your answer. Okay, so James said he ate 2 out of the 4. Okay, so let's shade those in. 2 out of the 4. David ate 2 out of the 3. Okay, so let's see. David ate 2 out of his 3. Oh, I can already see it now. Can you? Okay, James says he ate more. Did James eat more? He said he ate more because 4 is bigger than a 3. So was he right? Does his answer make sense? No, right? Because we've already talked about it. Because 1/4 size pieces are smaller than 1/3 size pieces, and they're the same number of pieces in each fraction. So David ate more. Okay, what I want you to do is I want you to practice now page 78 on your own and get a parent to help you check your answers. And then for homework tonight, or for your work to turn in for your teacher today, what I want you to do is I want you to complete the goal pages 79 and 80. Take a picture of both sides, and I want you to send that to your teacher. So I hope you have enjoyed this lesson on comparing fractions with the same denominator.